JB Morrow, go and get your bag.
So today we have some raw hair, and we're gonna be doing a 7x7 closure. Like, what? Look at that. The last time I did a video on this was like 2019, 2020. We got a 7x7 close. Like, it's about being in my face, bro. I'm gonna be doing a bust down jet black side part with this HD lace 7x7 closure. Look at her. She is gorgeous. And she is 20 inches. Look at her. Shebang. I got some raw hair bundles. The longest bundle is 24 inches. These are full from root to tip. This is raw Vietnamese hair. Raw Vietnamese hair. You see that? Like, I'm... Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all how I'm about to mash up the place. This is 24. This is literally 24 inches. Like, what? I got 4 bundles, 2 24s and 2 22s. I'm gonna dye them jet black. Then I'm gonna show you guys how to bleach and customize the front, well, damn near the mini frontal, which is a 7x7 closure. So this is gonna be a 2-part video. So as I said, the first part will be bleaching and dyeing and making the wig. I'm just gonna put it all together. Stay tuned. We about to get to it.
As you can see here, like, I was so geeked over this hair. Shout outs to Stephanie. Thank you, girl, for this hair. And I went ahead and I got the closure. The 7x7 closure was from my personal vendor. Love him so much. Love him down. If you want any inquiries, go ahead and let me know. So here we're just prepping. Make sure you are not stingy with the spray. You have to spray for your life or that lace is going to be messed up. Then you want to go ahead and blow dry it on cool and transfer it back and forth from cool to hot, cool to hot. Give it like 3 rounds of this and make sure it is crispy and hard when you're done. Following this step is very crucial, especially if you're going to be water dyeing your hair, because if you don't, I'm telling you, you're going to ruin your lace and you're going to be tight, and you can't say I ain't warn you. Do not be stingy with that got to be glue free spray. You have to spray. You have to spray and then dry it and make sure it is crunchy as hell. Like them edges in the summertime when you is packing on that eco styling gel. Make sure it is crunchy as hell so that your lace will be protected, period. And when it sounds like this, you know it's time to dye it. And now that you got your bulletproof lace, you want to go ahead and start to prep your box dye. So this is my first time using this brand, Just 5, the water. It's called, I think it has like water base in there, but it's really, 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 really good. It did not cause any shedding or like drying, because there was a lot of these box dyes I've been using. Like I used to use Revlon a lot, and that shit had my hair like, I don't know, it was messing up my hair to me. Like the cuticles in the bundles was drying out and splitting, and the hair just started to feel very heavy and trashy. So I stopped using that, and now I'm trying this, and moving forward, I will be using this. I really do love it. So I went ahead and I prepped it. You wanted to go ahead and let it sit for a little bit, and always remember to wet your bundles before you dye them. This is a gem that I learned from my homegirl. Wet them bundles before you dye them. It'll help saturate and spread through the bundles much more easily than just plastering onto some damn dry hair. You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to repeat this step on every single last bundle. I went in and I made sure that I just, you know, it's crazy. I only needed 2 bottles of dye. Like, that was really good. And I actually feel like I had, like, too much left over, because I just went in and just kept adding it at that point when I was finished, because it was like, yo, I got so much dye left. So these bottles do hold a lot, a really good amount of dye. So it was really sustainable. It was sustainable. I like it. Shout outs to Just 5. So I went ahead and I kept dipping it in the water just to spread it and saturate it a little bit more. I did use, like, room temp warm water, because I learned the trick that if you use like super hot water, it'll dry it out, mess up the hair. So this is my, again, raw Vietnamese hair, and I did not want to mess it up, so I made sure to follow different protocol this time around. But you know, same old same. And I went ahead, like I said, just keep repeating this for every bundle or your wig or whatever the case may be that you're going to be doing. Rub it up, dip it in the water, saturate, spread it through, repeat, and then you're going to let it sit in that bucket with that little bit of warm water, right? You're going to let it sit in there. You're going to add some more in a bucket, mix it around, and let it sit and marinate. Like when you season your meat, you're going to let it marinate. And let me teach you a trick to make sure that your lace does not mess up during your dyeing process, because, okay, we got a little bulletproof thing going on, but you still want to make sure that you're not too careless with it. When you are dipping your closure, your frontal, whatever it is, your wig, you want to make sure you have your other hand rubbing it, saturating it. If it gets on the lace in the back, we don't care about that. Like, you know, you're going to bleach it anyway. Again, never, ever bleach your hair before dyeing it, because it's going to create a catastrophe. You don't want that. Always dye your bundles, your wig, everything before the bleaching process, just so that if you do get anything on the lace, when you bleach it, it will go away like magic. You hear me? So make sure when you're dyeing your closure or your lace, whatever case may be, you dip it, you rub it around, dip it in and out of the water, and you keep the edge, the front part of the lace that's going to be showing, you keep that part out the way. You hear me? And then when you're gonna let it sit, you leave like an inch to a half an inch out of the water, and then look, voila, it is perfect. Not a stain, not a speck. It is perfect. So God forbid there is any stain on the lace, it'll be like in the middle or the inside, and nobody cares about that. And then you want to go ahead and rinse out your bundles and your closure, your wig, whatever the case may be, in cold water. Cold water seals in the color, it locks in everything, and it makes sure that your color will last very long. Just trust me. Just trust me. I've been doing this. I'm gonna repeat it one more time real quickly for the ones in the back that did not hear me. When you're dyeing your lace, make sure you leave out an inch to a half an inch out the water of the front part, because you don't want it to sit in that dye. No matter how much spray, you always want to be extra safe. Do not let it sit in that dye. You leave a piece out just to be safe, okay? Now we're going in with conditioner that you get from out the box dye. It is really nice. I did like this conditioner. It was very smoothing and clarifying and all that cool stuff. After I washed out everything, I went ahead with the conditioner, and I went in with you see this? You need this. You hear me? You need it. That silicone is what's going to bring your hair back to life. Okay? And I left it in that bucket, and I let it sit with the silicone, the conditioner. I let everything sit for about an hour to 2 hours. You could leave it overnight and come back and wash it out tomorrow. But that silicone is what's going to save your bundle's life. You hear me? When you bleaching hair, when you dyeing hair, any type of manipulation tactics you're doing to hair that can temporarily or mess up your hair or make it dry out, you want to go in with a very neutralizing what you call it, nourishing conditioner and some silicone, because that is what the girl, if you know, you know silicone is that girl. She's exactly who she believes to be. You hear me? And again, make sure you're being very, very generous with the amount that you're using, and the longer you let it sit for is the softer it'll be. Remember that too. Excuse me, what was up about my nails? Oh, because my nails was about to get done that day. They was about to get done, if not that day, the following day. And they got done and did. So not too much on my nail, thank you. Y'all probably think I'm crazy, but now I'm just going ahead and I'm rinsing out my bundles and everything in cold water. Again, guys, when you doing anything with conditioner, rinse in cold water, because it's going to lock in that moisture and make sure that your hair stays moisturized, stays soft, and just replenished. So you want to go ahead and just wash it out in some cold water and brush it and get out all the excess dye, any products, anything. But remember, this is really good dye, so the hair is going to stay jet black. It's still going to look mad pretty, and you're going to see when I'm done. Literally, I cannot make this up. Look at it. Not a speck of dye on this lace. So now we're going to go ahead and bleach it. So this step I was trying to tell y'all about, this is going to correct anything. Like if I got any black stains, if the lace looks a little too dark, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go in and you're going to correct it with the bleach. Now this is going to take out anything. Now when you're mixing up this bleach, boo, please make sure you make it as thick as cream cheese. You don't want it too watery. You don't want it too thick like pancake batter before you add more water. No, you want it to be as smooth and as thick as cream cheese, so that when you're smoothing it across the lace, not pressing it in, when you're lightly smoothing it across the lace, it just lays without giving you any issue. Like, do you see how effortlessly I'm just brushing this in? And you do not want to press it into the lace. You don't want to press it in. Please do not play with me. You do not want to press it in. You want to go ahead and just smooth it across the lace on the out, right here on this part of the lace. Smooth it across the lace and let it sit for a couple minutes until it starts to change, and then you can wash it out once the lace is lifted to your desired color. So when you're done, you're going to flip it and look to make sure no hair is laying down in it, so that doesn't bleach as well. And if it is, just lightly pull it out to make sure, again, it does not bleach. So when it's done sitting, you want to go ahead and rinse it out again in some cool water, because if you use hot water, not only is the dye going to run off your hair. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, do not wash this hair in no hot water, because the dye is going to run. But rinse it off in cool water. Make sure you get everything out. If you have neutralizing shampoo, go ahead and use that. I didn't, so I just went on. But I'm a pro. I know what I'm doing. And look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. But I'm going to go in and tone the lace down a bit so it can remove some of that brashiness. And I'm going to show y'all this trick. Do not tell nobody about this trick. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all want to go ahead and get you a bowl with some high shimmer highlights, the purple shampoo, and pour it all in the bowl and do the same thing. Repeat the same steps as if you're bleaching the lace. This is how you want to apply the shimmer lights to your closure or your lace or your fronts, whatever the case may be. Do not do it the way that people normally do it, where they just wash it. No, paint it and slather it all over the front of the lace, the back, the inside, everything, and that is going to make your lace look like this. Now look how neutralized that is. Do you see? There's no makeup on it. That's literally just me washing out the damn legs. Like, this shit is 2T. Don't tell nobody about this trick. I'm not playing with y'all, and I will be watching. You hear me? Let it sit for a good 30 to 45 minutes, and then you are good to go. And here is the hair dry. Do you see this? Still pretty, still flowy, still cute, still that girl, been that girl. Like, this hair is beautiful. And look at my lace. Like, come on. That trick, I'm telling you, that trick is going to take you places you have never been with your wig journey. You hear me? Now I'm going in with a mesh dome cap. I love to use the mesh dome caps. They're way, way, way better because they're breathable, and when you're washing your wigs, it's easy for it and faster for it to dry. So now you want to go ahead and mark where you're going to be placing this 7x7 closure, because it is pretty big and it's not like a frontal, and you want to line it up and mark it and make sure you're putting it in an accurate space on your head so that it lays flat and everything is seamless. You're going to go ahead now and we're going to just pin it down. And this part was a little tricky because, like I said, it is a 7x7 closure. It is really flipping big. So pinning it was kind of lumpy and dumpty and all over the place, and I had to try to figure it out. I was fighting for my life. I'm like, yo, where do I pin this? Again, remember, I have not did a wig like this since 2019. So I was all over the place with this. But we figured it out. And you want to go ahead and you see that part that I'm pinning? The very end, you want to fold it over. I didn't catch it on video. I'm so mad because look at that big opening. It was just all over the place. But you want to go ahead and pinch the two sides together, fold it, and sew it. It will lay flat. I wish I could get a better visual for you guys, but if you just look right in those ends where I have the pins at the back, you want to just fold it over a little tiny bit because you don't want it to leave any lumps, and then you want to go ahead and begin to sew. So as you see in here, I'm sewing. You want to start at the very tip and sew and pull it down tightly so that the front will lay flat. That is the trick. You have to sew from the very tip and sew and pull very tightly so that it will lay flat. Here's a food for thought. When you're sewing your closures or your frontals, always sew halfway, stop right here in the middle, and then start again from the next side and go right around. I was doing it a little backwards in this video, and I realized while I was editing, like, girl, what the hell are you doing? But don't follow me. You want to sew from the end, like where I showed you that very first corner, sew to the middle and stop, and then start from the next side on the very edge and sew to the middle and stop. That'll pull it and make it lay flat and tight. Mark my words. And now that we have our closure all sewed down and flat, I went ahead, I removed my pins and I tried it on to make sure it was laying flat enough and in the right places. And now we're going to start sewing with our first bundle. Now you want to start from, again, that very tip. You see where I first sewed? You want to go right behind that first stitch and start sewing. Do not sew through the band. Do not sew through the band. Do not sew through that band. I cannot stress this enough. If you do, your wig is going to be scrunched up and balled up like a fist, and you're going to be mad as hell because it's not going to fit, and you're going to have to start all over again. Sew through the very thin part of the cap. Do not sew directly through that band. The wind is going to be balled up like some drawers up your behind when you went down a slide. Don't do it. You hear me? You want to go ahead and just go right around to the next side and keep going around and around motion until you get to the top, and you're going to see how we deal with the top when we get there. Now, this is how you're going to get your wig to lay very flat. You want to split the track in half and sew with the second piece. Go straight out, fold that piece over, and then connect the two pieces back together and continue to sew. Now, you're going to look what I'm doing here. Make sure you follow this exact step. You can even do this when you're doing regular like leave out sewings or like frontal or closure sewings. Anytime you're sewing and it's time for you to bend the track, split it, separate it, sew one side. Then you're going to fold it over, sew, continue to sew until you get back into that second track and connect them all together. And that is going to make your installs lay super duper 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 flat. And you're going to continue on doing that throughout the rest of your install until you're obviously finished. So let me put y'all on, right? You know when you double the tracks, so like you have like two tracks, right? When you double the width and you have two tracks. Okay, cool. What I did was I split them in half because I didn't want the top to be too full and too bulky. You don't want that. So I split it in half and I sewed one side, go all the way out, right? Bend it, met it to the middle, and then finished off the next side that I left and just sewed to fill in that gap and then go right above it because I did not want the top to be too full and too bulky. If you understand what I mean. If you don't, reply in the comments and let me know, and I will break it down to you and simplify it more so you could really understand. Or if you want me to just upload this specific part of the video, let me know. I'll do that for you as well. Now, when you get to the top, you want your spacing to be a little good, you know, because you want to make sure that it's not too bulky. So you want to give that like a thumb space. You see how like I'm pushing my thumb to make sure I have a thumb width space while I'm going, so that when I close it up, everything lays flat and seamless. And I just hate when the wig just looks like a goddamn helmet. I don't want no big ass helmet on my head. What's that? A hat. Crazy, funky, junky hat. You remember Wizard Let Me Place? No? Yeah? No? Okay. So now that we have just this little piece left, I'm going to take this track and fill that all in. And then we're just about done with this wig. Like, how did y'all like this video? Y'all already know part 2 finna eat down. By the way of how I sewed this wig and placed it, and it's all flat, and like, you know the install is finna eat down. So I will be making sure to drop part 2 very, very soon. I'm sorry I even had to wait this long for part 1. I just had to make sure that my other video that I dropped about where have I been got some more traction. My mom was like, you know what? Forget traction. Let them come and see that you are content and you are consistent and you want this. Let them see you want this. Just post. So you know what I'm doing? I'm just posting. So here we have it. The wig is officially done. When you're finished, you want to go ahead and cut out that little extra piece in the middle, that mesh that you're going to see in a few. Make sure you go ahead and you cut out that mesh. And then the wig is basically done. We are done here. Like, this ate down. And I hope this really taught you guys and really helped you guys with, you know, how to make your wig. And again, if you want a simplified or more slowed down video, I will provide that for you as well. So go ahead, just let me know. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And keep up to date with me, guys. Go ahead and comment if you need more help. Let me know. And I will see you guys later. Stay tuned for part 2.